Traffic stops by Seattle police are expected to decrease dramatically in the coming weeks and months, thanks to a new policy that reportedly bans many traffic stops over equity concerns. And our next guest thinks a ban on all traffic stops could actually be coming next. Let's bring in KTTH, or Seattle Talk Radio host Jason Rantz, for tonight's lightning round. Jason, great to see you.
Good to see you, Shannon.
Okay, so Seattle's Inspector General Lisa Judge, quoted in the Seattle Times, says this about the traffic laws. Not enforcing them is not going to make people less safe as pedestrians or motorists, but they will reduce negative interactions with a police officer and the danger that can sometimes erupt in those situations. So what's the deal?
Yeah, she doesn't know what she's talking about, although I suppose she has a fair point that there's a negative interaction when you're breaking the law and you resist all, officers who are giving you any sense of direction and telling you not to do certain things. So what we're doing here right now is making it easier for criminals to get away with their criminality. We're talking about right now a policy that bans the officers from routine traffic stops like expired or missing vehicle registration, any issue with display of the registration plates, license plates. And part of the reason why they make those stops to begin with is that because they're car thieves. There are a lot of car thieves in this area, and they're getting away with the very permissive laws in this city. And the only thing that was standing in their way was the ability to enforce these particular laws. And unfortunately, now that they're off the books, it likely means we're going to see not just a continuation of this, but we'll probably see a surge.
Okay, now over in Tacoma, Washington, you bring us this incredible story. I want to show some video. So this individual, first of all, the person who gave you the video is a private detective who happened to be in Tacoma on completely unrelated business, sees this guy walking around to different cars. He says in the parking lot, kind of investigating, looked like he's maybe, trying to do something nefarious. But apparently he says this, he told you this, that he called the police numerous times. They finally showed up. He said, when I talked to the officer, we informed him that we had video of the suspect doing this. This is the video. At that point, the officer informed me because of the new state laws that even if they saw him break a window of a vehicle and take items out of that, they couldn't get hands-on, quote unquote, because they did not have a victim present to arrest him. What is this story and this video that you got?
So the state law right now in Washington State, thanks to Democrats who tried to reimagine policing, took away the standard of reasonable suspicion in detaining and questioning a suspect. They instead moved towards probable cause. And so the reason why officers couldn't get involved in this case, even if they wanted to, was because someone breaking into a car, that's not probable cause. That's reasonable suspicion. They can simply say, no, I own this car, or simply not answer a question as to whether or not they own the car. And so if you don't have the owner of the car present at the time who could then establish, no, this is my car, well, then you don't have probable cause, and so that person would have to be released. This is one of the unintended consequences. That's what they say. I don't know if it was actually unintended, but that's the consequence of these laws, where just basic policing, things that reasonable, rational people would say, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, that's now the rule of the land, unless they fix some of these laws that they had put in. Because another part of this is, and it's related really to the Seattle story, is you can't go on chases anymore either. If someone has committed a crime, you have to first have probable cause, then the crime has to be a violent offense, and you have to prove in the moment that you're choosing whether or not you're going to race after these folks, that chasing them is safer than letting them go free, which, of course, that bar is incredibly low. Oh, and by the way, you'd have to call for a supervisor to give you the approval to move forward with that vehicle pursuit. So that's how crazy the laws have become in Washington State as it relates to policing.
Okay, we got to go, literally, so I'm just going to ask you in a few seconds. I know you hear from a lot of people in the community. What do average citizens think about this?
They think it's nuts. They think that we've gone too far, and there better be some course correction soon. That's why some Democrat lawmakers have stepped up and said, okay, we're going to change some of these things. We'll see if it actually gets through the system.
Okay, well, we know you will let us know. Jason Rantz, always great to see you. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon. Appreciate it.